Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to integrate the new LEGO Sanctum Sanctorum with your other modular buildings. I've already done a video on connecting it to the Daily Bugle and kind of comparing it to that and my custom Avengers Tower. So that's why the Daily Bugle is not included in this video. These are only creator expert modular buildings. I have 5 of them here. We've got the downtown diner in the back, the police station right behind the Sanctum, the Palace Cinema, the Parisian Restaurant, and then the Bookshop. I also own Assembly Square, but I'm not including that in this video because, first of all, it's way too big. I don't really have the space to include it. And also, I don't like pairing the Sanctum up with it that much. They definitely look good together, but it's just not something that's going to feature in my city, so I'm not going to go to the effort of like pulling it out and everything. And also, I do own the Boutique Hotel set, but that isn't assembled yet either. I do kind of want to try putting the Sanctum next to it because they both have sand green roofs, and I think that that would look really nice. But I mean, I haven't had time to build it yet, so that's why it's not here. So this is a combination I actually like quite a bit because the police station is like the tallest modular building that I own besides the Palace Cinema. And it also has that sand green section like of the building right there. So I think that that nicely complements the Sanctum. Because the Sanctum comes out further than that section, it kind of recesses it, which I think is a really cool look. And overall, I do like this. The only thing I don't like is that the billboard on the side of the police station, it does get like kind of obscured from the sidewalk when you have a building this large covering it up. The problem with the Sanctum is that it's a corner unit, and I really wish it wasn't. I know it is in universe, but if it wasn't a corner, I think it would be so much more versatile because I would really love to have it like, I don't know, it's just, I tried out a lot of combinations. I spent 3.5 hours like the other day just trying to figure out a place to put it in my city, and I arrived at basically like the same setup I had before I started putting the set in, which kind of annoyed me. But it's kind of difficult to get it to integrate in a city like mine where I don't have enough room to have like a whole nother street going on beyond the Sanctum. Because I would really love to position it like here and then put the police station like kind of where the Palace Cinema is right now. Like the idea I was experimenting with was having 2 corners facing each other and then the police station like facing inwards on this side so you could see the billboard. And so I will kind of show you guys what I mean with the Palace Cinema, but because the Sanctum's a corner, it just makes certain things difficult for me. If I had a larger city, I don't think it would be as much of a problem. All right, so this is basically what I was trying to do in my city, which was to create a walkable area in the middle of it so that the minifigures could get back to where I have the Daily Bugle and the Avengers Tower sets. But I also wanted like a little road there so that cars could still get by, and this just was not conducive to that at all. I would really love to have this like grand sweeping Lego city with a bunch of different streets and everything, but I definitely don't have the room for it yet. I'm probably not going to be able to do that until I'm like much older. But I do really like this look with the 2 corners facing each other. The problem is that while I feel like my old Sanctum, the 2018 one, fit in really well with other buildings in the city, because the new one is so much more impressive, it does like stand out more. And so I feel like it is more awkward to put it next to some of these creator expert sets. So I think it works next to the Bookshop. I do like it next to the Bookshop, but it's not my favorite pairing. I tried putting it next to the Parisian Restaurant, but I do not think they look good together because I feel like the greens just clash because the restaurant has olive green and then the roof of the Sanctum is sand green. And I did really like it next to the Palace Cinema, but I think anything would look good next to the Palace Cinema. I love that set so much. I'm very glad that I ended up buying it. And the Sanctum looks absolutely terrible next to the downtown diner. You can see I put the downtown diner like all the way down there, and it's just so bad next to the downtown diner because that one is so like 50s like Art Deco, and then the Sanctum is so like ancient, like mystical. They do not look good together at all. So I positioned the police station back there because I think it looks really good. It doesn't get too hidden because it is so large, and it does make the Soap and Suds like billboard just a little bit more visible. Next to the Palace Cinema, like not quite as much, but like next to the Sanctum, it would be more visible. And I mean, I just like that you can see a little hint of it like peeking out there. And then you've also got, whoops, sorry, I'm trying to move my camera like over my chair here. But you've got the downtown diner there. And I think that the diner looks excellent being positioned at the back like that. Again, it does obscure it a little bit too much, because I do like being able to see that diner sign. Um, and that's why I don't want to display something like this, because I feel like you really need a street in between like these kind of like rows of buildings. Like it can't just be walking path. I feel like you need a street with cars so that you can really see like the full detail of all the buildings. Here's the diner with the sanctum. I just don't think it's a good look. I think the diner fits with a lot of modulars a lot better than I would have expected, but the sanctum is not one of them. The sanctum has such muted tones in its color scheme, and then the diner is so kind of like in your face, not just with the colors, but also the design in general. Like the sanctum is very straightforward, built straight up with a little bit of studs on the side building, but the diner is going in like every direction, you know, like it's got like that stripe, it's got the big sign, it's got like the paneled like walls, and of course you got that architectural feature. So yeah, I really don't think that they look that great next to each other. I think the way I had it before, like with the diner like on the other side of the sanctum, I feel like that could work. Like if you had like if you turned the sanctum 90 degrees and you put the alleyway of it next to the diner, I think that's okay, because again, there's just like a bit of breathing room in between the different styles. But butting up right against each other like this, I think it does not look good at all. The Sanctum and the Palace Cinema look pretty decent together, but I do kind of like them facing each other more than I like them connected. Because the Sanctum has that green roof, I just really feel like it works best with buildings that have something similar, like some kind of similar color, you know, like a bluish or a greenish. But like even that's not a home run, because I mean we'll try it next to the Parisian Restaurant next, but I don't think that looks that great. The Palace Cinema, like the only hint of blue is like that really bright blue in the sign, and I don't think that that correlates well with the color scheme on the Sanctum. I think that the Bookshop works next to the Sanctum because that apartment building in the back, like it, like the teal, I think goes well enough with the sand green. It doesn't work on the Downtown Diner because of the pink in it. Like the Downtown Diner just kind of reminds me of like frosting or like toothpaste with like the white and like the pink and like the blue. And so those vibes do not go with the Sanctum. These vibes go with the Sanctum, but more, like I said, like kind of across the street than next to each other. I really like displaying the Parisian Restaurant next to the Palace Cinema, and honestly, the Sanctum would work very well next to the restaurant if it was symmetrical. I just don't think that the gap looks good when the Sanctum just keeps going up so starkly. Because it's not supposed to. The Sanctum is supposed to have another corner. And so it's times like this when like the inaccuracy of this set like really hurts it, because of the choice to not make the building like how it should look, because of the choice to make it asymmetrical, I think it needs to be butting up against another tall building, because when there's a gap like this, like there is with the Parisian Restaurant, it just looks like really wrong in my opinion. I think it stands out in a very bad way. So if it was symmetrical, I think it would look perfect here. Like this is how I used to display it. I used to have my old Sanctum next to my Parisian Restaurant. So I don't love that I can't do that anymore. But yeah, I really think Lego should have made a better design in the first place. So if I ever modify it, then I'd love to try this again. But yeah, I don't think this works very well. But honestly, this is why I think it would work really well with the boutique hotel. I kind of wish that I had it assembled already. But it has a sand green roof. It has like the light nougat colored middle floor, which I really hate, but that could like kind of match well with this medium nougat floor. So I feel like it would look really good next to the boutique hotel. But then they're also kind of clashing styles, because the boutique hotel reminds me of like kind of like something you'd see in Florida, and the Sanctum does not. So I don't know if those two vibes would necessarily match. All right, well, that about does it for this video. I do like the setup that I showed at the start the best, I think, with the Sanctum across from the Palace Cinema, and then I think everything else can kind of just fall into place around it. I really like, you know, messing around with my city, figuring out new layouts for the modular buildings, but the Sanctum was rough. Like I said, it took me 3.5 hours just to arrive at the same setup that I've had in my city for like the last year and a half. So I do think it doesn't fit in very neatly, because it's a very awkward corner building. Like you don't want to see the other side of it. The Palace Cinema works perfectly on either corner. The Sanctum is not a set like that. The Sanctum only works from this one angle. And so that's kind of why I think they should not have made it a corner, even though it is one in universe. And again, I will beat this dead horse. It looks bad because it is not like complete. It looks bad because it's not symmetrical. It looks bad because the designers didn't, for some reason, think to make the thing accurate to how it looks in the movie. And that's really what kills it. And that's honestly what makes me like the set a lot less. I didn't think that it would bother me this much. And I said that in my review too. But it's when you're trying to arrange it like this that I think that really becomes clear. Because I feel like all the other modular buildings, like, they've got something more interesting happening on that side. No other modular building is just such a straight, like, wall of, like, brick, you know? Like, even, like, the bookshop has, like, some interesting stuff going on with the roof. So that's kind of disappointing, but like I said, maybe one day I'll modify it, and then I think I'll be a lot happier. So that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I will see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.